Hello guys, and today we're going to be taking a look at this little piece of hardware, the 3DO. And it's the Gold Star model, not the big ass wide one. Side fan noise fucker. Back there. Serial port, standard for most CD-ROM systems. This is like a good 10 or 15 pound thing. This thing right here is a good chunk of toast out. Anyway, first on to good. The CDs that I played on it, they worked absolutely perfectly. I played Dark Side of the Moon on my Dream Theater on this thing, and it sounds pretty good for its time. Now, I'm going to tell you straight out, I didn't get any footage for this review because, one, the thing likes to spell out my games. I have about 3 games, and I got this for about 75 bucks. And every single time I tried to play a game on it, it would spit it out 4 or 5 times before I would get it even running. And half the time after I got it to run, it would crash. Or it would say CD-ROM error, and I couldn't play the game anymore, and I could barely get any kind of footage on it. Like, seriously, I have like 15 minutes of me trying to get this bastard to work. And if you care to see it, just tell me how freaking upload it. So anyway, so the system itself is pretty basic. You can take the wires from like a VCR player, hook it into the back of it, hook it up to your TV, and it'll work no problem. Problem is that it likes to crash on me every, I don't know, 5 seconds, and this is a noisy fucking prick. So anyway, it takes a serial port for controller. Plug that bastard in, and right here, push back, we got the controller, at least the Gold Star one. I have another one kicking around here, and it works a little bit better than this one. The L and R buttons seem a little flimsy. I don't know if it's because of how old the system is, or it's because this controller is a piece of crap. Buttons feel alright. The actual arrow buttons have like a little bit of a groove, so your fingers can feel right into like going up, down. Start, pause button, square button, and there's a low serial port. So if you want to plug in a second controller in which there's no second port on this thing, just plug it in there, and you basically daisy chain the controllers together. I have a second one, I just couldn't find it for this review. So I'm just gonna go over the 3 games that came with it really, like fairly quickly. My thoughts on them. First we have Shockwave. On the back it says Shockwave Invasion Earth 2019. Nice to see that we'll have spaceships to fly around and shoot at aliens when the invasion comes around at 2019. Wow, that's gonna be a big leap when we go about a decade from it here out. So anyway, Shockwave, it's basically a fly around kind of shoot stuff kind of game. It's like Ace Combat or Turn and Burn, No Fly Zone, Star Fox, that kind of thing. It looks a little bit better than those games, but the aiming reticle feels really weird. It's fairly hard to get a beat on anything, and all the missions that I've played so far, you basically gotta luck out to freaking beat them, because there's no way to dodge anything. So basically you have to kill it before it kills you, otherwise you're dead. with that said, I keep hearing that this is a pretty good game. I don't see it. I would give it 4.5 out of 10. Next off, we have, get it right here, Road Rash. Now, this is the first, CD Road Rash game. I believe it came out on the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn. It plays fairly well compared to other Road Rash. It's a very high-paced, smack people with punches and kicks kind of game. But the problem is, when you have the audio effects and everything in there, it bogs down a lot. The frame rate is very choppy when there's any kind of action, and it looks a tad better than the Sega Genesis Road Rash 3 game, but Road Rash 3 looks, runs a lot better than this. Plus, it didn't have menus where it took 5 seconds to go from one option to another. So, if you want to play a Road Rash game, I would suggest picking up like EA Replay, or just playing the old Road Rash games, or play a different port of this game. I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10. There is fun to be had, but not a lot. The last one is just basically a kiddie game. Station Invasion. I screwed up there. Club 3DO Station Invasion. Anyway, excuse me. Basically, these little kids have taken over a TV station, and you gotta pick one of their shows, do the challenges on it. And, some might be math equations, others might be a word mix-up kind of thing. Others might be Mad Libs, stuff like that. It's a very kiddie kind of game. I'm not even gonna give this a rating because it's a little kid's game. And it's more educational than anything, so I don't think it's fair to judge a more educational game from back in, when the frig did this come out? What does this trademark say? And I'm looking at now, 1994. Thing came out in 1994. So the system itself, I think it needed a lot more time. I don't know whether it's because of age that my system keeps spitting games out, or if it's because of the games. And from what I played of them, I am not willing to, see this thing spit out my games every 2 minutes and say CD-ROM error, won't play, or give me a CD-ROM error where I have to restart it again. I haven't played Return Fire. I just thought this would be something cool, just to have in my collection. And to be honest with you, this is the biggest crunk of shit I've ever had to go to war with. I have never had to go to war with a system in my life, aside from Nintendo trying to get those cartridges to work when I was a little kid. This thing fought me the entire fucking way. It just non-stop. It's like CD-ROM error, CD-ROM error. It's like, oh, I got it to work now. What do you think of that, you stupid CD-ROM error? Again and again and again. I would just fight with this thing just to get it to work. Not to mention, this is a noisy as hell system. So, unless you are a collector and you need something that has people go, where the fuck did you find that? That is the only scenario I would recommend getting a 3DO. With the exception of a couple of games like Return Fire and Street Fighter 2, I can see no real reason why you would want to get this thing. Most of these games have probably been ported to other systems where they ran better or controlled better. And overall, I think this system's... I think I should just bin the bastard. But I paid $75. If I bin it, I'm not going to get my cash back. So it's going to be sitting here collecting dust. Until somebody goes along and it's like, hey, let's play that. Let's play the 3DO. It's like, you really want to play the 3DO? Yes, I do. Let's play the goddamn thing. So the system itself, I would give just a 2.5. I cannot recommend this crunk of garbage whatsoever. But the controller, if you can manage to get them to work with like a Sega Genesis or something like that, then I could recommend the controller. I don't recommend this crunk of shit. Fuck this system. I will see you all later.